After using her mother, her father abandons them. Several years later, she is passed around to sleep with many men, including her own father. In a town where many farmers assemble with tickets in hand, a chance emerges for one fortunate individual to spend time with Angel, an attractive woman, in a brothel located within the building. As Angel gazes out the window, memories of her childhood with her mother flood her mind. The revelation unfolds that Angel's father strongly objected to her mother's choice to give birth to her. Consequently, her father held resentment towards her and lectured her mother. Angel thinks she's a burden and blames herself for her parents' conflict. She even asked her mom if things would be better if she were gone. Her mom reassured her, saying it was not her fault and expressing love. One day, they got kicked out of her dad's place, so they had to find a new home. Angel's mom tried hard to meet their needs, but it didn't work out. With no other option, May begins selling her body and takes up a job as an escort. A few days later, she gets sick and dies, leaving Angel by herself. Fast forward to now, we meet a guy named Michael Hosea working on a farm in the countryside. Besides farm work, he regularly goes to church to thank the Lord and ask for protection from bad vibes. In church one day, he prays to God to give him someone to share everything with. He's confident that God will pick the right woman for him someday. Some days later, Michael heads to town to sell his crops. While trading, he spots a lovely lady who catches his eye, and he falls for her pretty fast. Curious, he asks a buddy about her, and the friend spills that Angel is a fancy escort who charges a hefty fee for spending the night. Even with this info, Michael isn't put off because he's already smitten. The day after, Michael buys a ticket and spends time with Angel. As he enters, he sees Angel standing there without clothes, ready to help. Michael turns away, but Angel tells him not to worry or be shy, even if he's got a wife. He clears things up, saying he's not married and just wants to chat. He admits he likes her and asks her to come live with him. Angel doesn't take it seriously, though, because he's the fifth guy proposing that week. Before he can say more, Angel tells him his time is up and asks him to leave. The next day, Michael pays double to spend more time talking to her. Once again, he tries to convince her to marry him, but Angel doesn't trust him, thinking all guys are alike. As the clock ticks, he still can't change her mind. Michael wants to give it another shot, but his friend warns him it's a waste of money. Despite the advice, Michael persists and goes back to see her. He tries again to show his love, but Angel, irritated, says she feels nothing for him because he's just a farmer. It stings, so he decides to head back to his village. Flashbacks from the past show where a guy brings Angel to a brothel with plans to sell her into prostitution for a hefty sum. But the brothel's owner, Duke, kills the man and keeps Angel. Duke, who is into kitties, abuses her. Then she's made to work there, grows up into a woman. Because she's young and pretty, she starts getting taught for a lot of money, turning into a fancy escort. One day, she spots her dad at the brothel, but he doesn't recognize her. After that, the Duke tells her to serve her own father. After spending the night together, Angel tells him she's the daughter he kicked out. When he finds out, he shoots himself. After this, Angel runs away to dodge murder charges. She goes to another city, but unfortunately, she lands up in one of Duke's brothels again. Angel has been stuck in that brothel against her wishes till now. In the current time, she goes to the Duchess and asks for her pay so she can leave and be on her own. But the Duchess says no, stating that Angel owes her money for food and a place to stay. This ticks off Angel, and she mocks the Duchess and throws away her china cup, making her order a guy to beat her as punishment. The guy beats her up really badly, making her face swell up a lot. That night, Michael gets a weird feeling during her sleep, so he heads to town to see Angel. When he goes to the brothel, he sees Angel in bad shape and decides to take her with him. He asks Angel to marry him again, and this time she says yes. After that, he pays off her debt to the Duchess and brings her to his place. When they get to his house, Michael takes good care of her, even putting his mom's ring on her finger. Unlike other guys, Michael seems to really love her and wants to be with her forever. But Angel isn't ready for marriage yet because she sees it as another kind of slavery. So, she tells Michael she won't be sticking around for too long. 3 weeks later, Angel gets better from her injuries. When Michael is at work, she decides to leave. In the evening, he comes back home and sees his ring on the table. At first, he's crushed, but he pulls himself together and goes out to find her. After looking for a while, he finally finds the love of his life. When Angel sees him, she tells him to leave her alone. Michael gives her water and points out 2 paths, one to the Duchess's brothel and the other to her home with her husband, meaning him. Then he rides off, leaving her with the 2 choices. Later, she changes her mind and returns to Michael. Paul, Tessa's husband who passed away a year ago, comes over to Michael's place. Michael welcomes him in and introduces him to his wife, Angel. Paul is surprised because he's seen Angel in the brothel before. While Michael is busy in the stable, Paul talks to Angel and says Michael doesn't deserve someone like her. Later, he goes to Michael and spills about her past, speaking ill of her. As expected, Michael gets mad and punches Paul in the face for bad-mouthing his wife. Afterwards, Angel feels she's not worthy because she's an escort, but Michael comforts her, saying he doesn't care about her past and wants to build a future together. The next day, Angel asks Paul to take her back to town because she can't believe she's good enough for Michael, and he agrees. In the middle of their journey, Paul asks Angel to pay him to drop her off in town, so Angel starts selling her body again. When she rolls into town, she finds out the brothel got torched, and 2 pals bit the dust in the blaze. Right then, some guy walks up, tosses her a job offer at his brothel, and she takes it, thinking she's forever going to be the spinster escort. Meanwhile, Michael quizzes Paul about Angel. Once he gets the lowdown, he hauls it to town to scoop up his missus. He storms the brothel, brushes off the dudes trying to stop him, and whisks her back home. On the way, she wonders why he's still into her, and he lays it out true love. From then on, they're all sunshine and rainbows, with Angel getting a kick out of life. One day, they spot a busted car near Michael's place, and he lets the family crash at his spot while their wheels get fixed. Angel pitches in, dishing out grub and treating them right. One of the kids, Miriam, thinks Angel's the bee's knees and wants to be buds. In a jiffy, the 2 families hit it off, and they name their new bundle of joy, Michael. The next day, Michael and Angel are out in the fields when Angel spills the beans that she can't have kids, thanks to the brothel owner. But optimistic as ever, Michael reassures her, saying nothing's impossible. The day after, Angel gives heading back to town another shot. Before taking off, she leaves a ring and a note for Miriam, urging her to tie the knot with Michael because she thinks Miriam's the one for him. Even though she's got strong feelings for him, Angel decides to peace out on Michael. Later on, Miriam reads the note and shows it to Michael, but he tells her that she is free. Time ticks on, and Michael tries to soldier on without Angel. Somewhere else, Angel asks for a gig at a diner, convincing the boss she's got the chops to whip up tasty grub. Soon enough, she's clocking in at the restaurant until Duke catches wind of her. In the next scene, they drag Angel back to the brothel, where she spots a little girl who's a spitting image of her younger self. It tugs at her heart because she doesn't want these kiddos to go through the same ringer she did. Later on, Duke orders Angel to bust a move on stage. But when she makes her way to the spotlight, she digs deep, musters the courage, and spills all of Duke's secrets to the crowd. Duke loses it, drags her inside, and as he is about to kill her, a random person from the crowd steps in and saves her. Quickly, Angel then swoops in, rescues the 2 little girls, and escorts them out of the joint. The crowd sees the kids coming out and is really angry at Duke, who is now packing his money. But not so fast as they lynch him above a building. Fast forward 3 years, and Paul stumbles upon Angel cooking up a storm in a San Francisco brothel. He dashes over, spills apologies for his past nonsense, and, shockingly, Angel claims she's already pardoned him. She throws in a question about Miriam, assuming she's with Michael, but Paul spills the beans that Miriam's hitched to him and Michael's still holding out for Angel. This throws Angel for a loop, because she never figured someone could love her that much. But, despite it all, she's not about to go back to him, thinking she's not deserving of the whole deal. Before he takes off, Paul hands her the location of his ride in case she has a change of heart. He adds that the vehicle will roll back into town at 4 p.m. Now, Angel's stuck in a pickle. It hits her that he's the one and only love of her life, so she decides to head back to him. In the next scene, she catches up with Michael, says sorry for all the trouble, and spills the beans on her true name, which is Sarah. Finally, the lovebirds are back together and riding the happiness wave. Fast forward a bit and we catch a glimpse of them fishing with their little dude. Plus, Angel's got a large bump and is about to pop their second kiddo. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like our channel and subscribe if you enjoy content like this. Let us know what movie you would love us to recap for you.